Hi, I'm Grace,
And I am Tzivia.
and we're here to wake up and write together.
And we love to talk about dreams and writing. So, Grace, what is our topic for today?
Today, we thought we would talk about privacy and sort of the private self and the public self. And curious, dreaming seems to me like such a private experience that you have, that one has. And I'm curious about the ways that it can also be part of joining with others, or how can dreams also be part of a public experience?
Great question. I love it. So, yes, you're right. Generally, when we think about dreams, the public conversations we usually have about dreams is how individual they are, right? Like they're about our own neuroses, or we have very particular dreams, and we largely keep them to ourselves, right? There's not a lot of public spaces to share dreams. But interestingly, dreams are as communal as they are private.
Hmm.
So, scrolling back in history and even some places on the earth today, there are cultures where sharing dreams is woven into, and there have been cultures like this in the past, where sharing dreams is woven into community life. You bring your dreams to the group.
I
And
love that. I love that. Yeah.
dream circles, the idea of having a dream circle where you share dreams is becoming popularized again in some cultures and communities. I mean, for myself, the world I live in, I join dream circles a lot. I host dreaming on the page circles
Hmm.
where we share dreams together, and then we explore those dreams and turn them into writing. We turn them into poems and stories that are extra authentic because they come from that. So it's that push and pull, right? They come from that deeply interior space. But as Jung pointed out, that interior space is also fed by the collective, right? The collective unconscious. So even with dreams, there's that push and pull between what's interior, what's private, and even the messages in dreams. Some of them are meant for the individual and some for the community. So I love that you asked that. And
Thank
yeah, I'm
you.
curious though about you because your book, The Oasis Pages, is about diary keeping. It's about getting young people writing in a diary, which I think of as a very private space. So how do you think about that, you know, private versus community or private public?
Thanks. Yeah, diaries and journals, they are private. And in any books that I've created, Oasis pages always start with a quote about privacy and a privacy statement, because I feel like those pages they're an extension of someone's inner self. They're the where a young person came to the page, any person comes to the page. Privacy is a relationship for me with oneself, actually, right? So who am I? And I think that freedom to really express and say things that might surprise us, or things we might be afraid to say, um, is important. And if we think that someone else might read what we're going to write, that it changes what we're going to write. It really does. And so I strongly believe in writing for oneself and the privacy, to think for oneself and to um, share perhaps about the experience of writing, but maybe not what one is writing in a diary or journal. Although there are people, for example, who do share their journals. Nathaniel Hawthorne and his wife used to keep a shared, journal. I suspect they wrote things that would be different if they were really just engaging, with their own self. But I do love the idea of people coming together to write, and just always being really clear, is this something that is meant to be shared or not with someone else? And I really encourage, especially early on, to write and not share it with other people.
I love that. You know what I love about it as you're talking? I'm thinking about how everything is about sharing these days on social media, and there's always input coming in, right? There's always input coming in, and what we put out is curated. There are all those different words. So the book, the open journal with a blank page, It almost feels sacred right now in the time that we live in, a unique place to have a thought that you can think all the way through for yourself. And the opinion might not jibe exactly with your best friends or with your parents, but you get to figure out what you think and how you see the world.
Throughout life, right? I mean, we're still I think that individuation of of oneself, and from the community, from the, fitting in one's own unique way, but the finding that unique way. So where would that leave us today in terms of a writing invitation for folks watching?
Well, I'm thinking, Grace, about how both with dreams and journaling, we come in contact with that self that not everybody sees. So, what if we invite people to take their pen out and write a little bit about sort of the me that maybe not necessarily the me that nobody knows, but the me that not everybody knows, the me that I encounter when I'm alone.
Mm. And perhaps if that could be, I am someone who, I'm thinking, sort of hearing it almost as a prose poem. I am someone who, and then write that and come back. I am someone who, keep coming back to that prompt or not.
I love that. I love that. That's a great invitation. And I hope folks will take us up on that invitation. And if you want, share with us what you've written. We'd love to see it.
No, we wouldn't.
It's private. Take that back.
Share with us about your experience.
I like it. It's private. Until
All right.
next time, my friends.